This is the outside of the 2020 Auto Sleeper Nuevo. As we move along, we will firstly come to the fresh water drain. Comes with a dust cover. Next we have the Lpg Gas Tank Filler point. Push in, twist to remove the dust cap. Our UK fillers slide over the top of this point, and then it's just a matter of twisting a lever round and then pulling it towards you to lock it onto the side of the van, and then holding a button down to put the gas into the van. The bezel part just here where my finger is will take all of the continental adapters. The gas tank on the Nuevo is located underneath the van. And is literally here. This part here is the emergency cut-off point. Pull this lever here and remove the front cover, and then you will find this brass cut-off knob just here. Literally just twist it to isolate the gas. Next we have external TV and satellite points, and also a 12-volt plug-in point. Water into the van at this point here if you're going to be using the whale filler system. You are supplied with this whale collapsible filler hose. Standard hose lock attachment on the end, and then this part here literally just plugs in, slide down to lock into place, turn the tap on, make sure the 12 volt is turned on inside the van, and it will then commence filling the fresh water tank up, and when it's full it will then automatically cut off. If you're on a fully serviced pitch, you can literally leave the tap turned on, and as you are using water it will then just continually refill the tank. To release, lift, push both blue buttons in and out it will come. Next we have the flue for the Truma combi boiler. We do not need to do anything with these particular flues, just make sure that nothing is obstructing it. Mains hookup just here. Just remember when releasing the hookup cable that you push down on the blue lever just here. Next we have the location of the Thetford cassette toilet. To remove the cassette, lift up on the blue lever and pull towards you. Before use, undo the cap just here and add your toilet chemical. This is also where the cassette empties from as well. Just remember that when you pour the cassette away, to hold down on the blue button just here to release the vacuum inside. It is also advisable to keep this seal lubricated. Thetford do their own seal lubricant, but any silicone based lubricant is fine. This is also a really good way of giving it a good clean. If any debris was to wrap itself around the float mechanism inside, which will then give you a false reading that the cassette is always full, you can gain access just here. Just twist, give it a little wiggle, and then you can remove the float and clean it. All of these cassettes now come on wheels with a pull-up handle. Next we have the grey water drain. So anything that goes down your plug holes goes into the holding tank and then is drained off at this point just here. Again, it has a dust cover as well. The spare wheel is just located back here. At this point here is where it is wound down. So in the jack and wheel brace kit, which is located underneath the passenger seat, there is a bar that goes in to this point here, which then enables you to attach the brace to wind it down. On the auto sleeper models, they also come with an air line that runs directly to that spare wheel. So just by removing the dust cover just here, we can check the tyre pressure and we can top it up if needed. As we now come round to the rear, this Nuevo has been fitted with a bike rack. Pull down and then undo these to put the bar into the position that it's in at the moment. Bikes onto the rails and then slide these through the wheels to hold the bike securely. And then these arms can then be fitted to any part of the framework of each bike. Reverse camera just up here, and this motorhome is also fitted with rear corner steadies. You'll see I've already wound one down. It's just a matter of getting the corner steady wind and handle and then popping it onto that Alco nut just there and then just winding. As we now come round to the other side, we have both vents for the fridge. This is a fully winterized motorhome, so it is supplied with winter covers. These just literally pop on. So start at the bottom, hook it on, and then clip it into position. Then the fridge in the colder months will only vent from the bottom and the top, holding some heat in to make it run efficiently. Make sure in the warmer months that these are all off, or otherwise the fridge will just overheat and not run correctly. Next we have a standard fill point for the fresh water. So if you don't want to use that whale hose, you can just use an ordinary hose just to fill the fresh water tank up. This is lockable. Barbecue point just here. So currently the actual adapter is just cable tied just here. So the hose of the barbecue over this rib section here and secured with a Jubilee clip. Then this end here would plug in where my finger is. Once it's locked into position, you can then turn the gas on to use the barbecue. To release the spear, just push the collar towards the motorhome and it will release. External main socket just here. Access underneath the bench seat just here. And then beneath that we have the wet locker. Above we have the wind out canopy. So if we get the canopy winding handle, it then locates just up here. If I now just pause the video, I will just wind it out. As you can now see, I've wound it out a small distance, which is always the best thing to do first. because once we've wound it out a little way, we then want to drop the legs for support. These legs are sprung loaded, so just push in and they will then drop down like so. If we then raise this lever, we can then drop the leg to the ground, and then if we then push this back up, it will then lock it into place. We then do this with the second leg as well, and then once we're fully secured, we can then continue to wind the awning out as far as we want to. These awnings will come out to about 2.5 meters. Next we have the diesel fill point. So the cap unlocks on the ignition key, and then AdBlue top up sits underneath. It will let you know on the dashboard when your AdBlue needs topping up. Tyre pressures on the door pillar just here, and the vehicle battery itself just sits underneath the cab floor just here, and bonnet release is just located here.